The 2025 MLB season has started off with a bang, and dare I say, the Yankees are looking more and more like the evil empire. What's going on, guys? It's the King of 161st and I'm back another video, and from great starts to even better offense to even bigger controversy, the Yankees are all over Major League Baseball news after their opening day weekend, and it all started with Carlos Rodon, but I broke that down in my last video. Go check that out. Moving on to game 2, Nestor Cortez comes in for his comeback to the city where he got rejuvenated as a pitcher. He did not come through the minor league system here, but definitely got his start at the major league level and really made a career in New York. He probably thought long and hard about this moment. I don't think any of those thoughts went down the way it did on Saturday afternoon. 3 home runs in 3 pitches is absolutely insane. 4 home runs in the first inning. Absolutely insane. Max Fried looked okay, but his defense gave him 0 favors. And that does concern me a little bit. I know it is game 2. 5 errors is a little ridiculous. And also, let's talk about third base. Pablo Reyes gets the start in that game in a wild lineup that threw everyone for a loop. Austin Wells, who led off on opening day, now moves down to the 5 hole. Paul Goldschmidt gets the first leadoff spot of his entire career. Pablo Reyes gets the start at third. Trent Grisham gets a spot in center. This lineup was absolutely crazy. But right away, Paul Goldschmidt made a lot of people eat their words. The one person who did not let people hear it is Pablo Reyes. And I know, during my conversation with Francis, we talked about the spring training that Pablo Reyes had. And we talked about how he became a competitor for that third base spot. That game might have taken him out of those conversations. He looked god awful at third base. 2 errors in this game, 1 throwing, 1 fielding, and even some of the plays that he had where they did not call error. He looked lost, absolutely lost. I don't know how long it will be before the Yankees go back to him, because in that same game, Oswald Peraza gets a pinch hitting opportunity and he made the most of it, hitting the 9th home run for the New York Yankees in this game, making it their franchise record and tying them for the 2nd most in a single game in MLB history. Pablo Reyes might have just lost himself this platoon spot, and it sucks for him because it is 1 game. But when you are in a position battle, you cannot look that sloppy. You cannot look that bad both at the plate and as a fielder, especially in a game where everyone else is contributing offensively. You got to join the party there, or you stick out like a sore thumb. And he definitely stuck out like a sore thumb there. Now back to positives. What can you say about Aaron Judge that hasn't already been said? Aaron Judge is probably the best hitter I have ever seen. Most likely, he is the best hitter you have ever seen, depending on your criteria, because I know Barry Bonds is there, probably the most talented hitter we have ever had in this game. But what Aaron Judge has done since 2022 is probably the best run of baseball of all time. 62 home runs, on pace for 60 home runs before the toe injury. Fuck you, Los Angeles. And then 58 with a .314 batting average at the same time. Aaron Judge is probably the most complete hitter in Major League Baseball today. I know a lot of people were trying to be different, saying, oh, Bobby Witt Jr. is going to win MVP. Oh, this guy's going to win MVP. This guy's going to win MVP. And I get it. Aaron Judge is in his early 30s, but he's hedging towards those mid-30s where the fall-off starts. So you're always trying to predict, when's the fall-off going to come? Is it this year? Well, if this is any indication, he has 4 home runs in 3 games. He's already a 10th of the way to 40. 3 games. If these 3 games are any indicator for his season, he'll have 50 by August. He'll have 60 in September, and by the end of the season, he could even hit 70. Aaron Judge is a man on a mission. He fixed the mistakes that happened with his swing at the start of the season. He fixed that in spring training where he's supposed to. And now he is coming out firing on all cylinders. Also proving to a lot of people that he does not need Juan Soto to be in front of him in order to get his shit off. He is probably the best hitter I have ever seen. I don't know what else to say here. If you can find other ways to describe Aaron Judge, leave it in the comments down below. But someone I really want to talk about over these 2 games is someone I've talked about a lot on this channel. It's a guy I've been backing before he came to the Yankees, and that's Jazz Chisholm Jr. What I'm seeing out of Jazz to start the year, and I get it, it's 3 games. You don't want to overreact to 3 games. But these 3 games that I've seen, he looks like prime Alfonso Soriano. A guy who is super fast but has massive amounts of pop. From what he's produced so far, giving out 3 home runs already, has a 400 batting average in 3 games. This is a guy who I thought would get 30-30 this year. And now I'm thinking I might have been wrong. This guy might just match Alfonso Soriano and go for 40-40. Because you know, once he starts getting on base, he's gonna steal those bases. But if he's supplying the power here, especially with that torpedo bat, which we'll get to in a moment, Jazz Chisholm Jr. has the talent to do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants to be 40-40, he can go for 40-40. It's all about staying on the field for Jazz. And if he's on the field for at least 155, 40-40 is not out of the conversation here. Like right now, I am 100% pushing my chips all in on 30-30. To me, that is a virtual lock at this point. Jazz might be, outside of Judge, the second most talented hitter in this lineup. And that's with a lineup with Cody Bellinger, who homered, Paul Goldschmidt homering. You have all these other pieces that have proven more at this level. I get that. Jazz Chisholm might be the second most talented in this lineup. And especially with this torpedo bat, the sky is the limit for someone like Jazz Chisholm Jr. Anthony Volpe also looks great, and it's all because of this torpedo bat that everyone is talking about. So let's finally get to it. The Yankees brought in an MIT physicist named Lenny. This guy Lenny looked at the rule book and then looked into it as a physicist and said, according to the rule book, it is not against the rules to move the barrel. As long as it doesn't go over a certain size, you can fuck with the barrel however you want, essentially. So they did tests with Anthony Volpe, and they realized he was getting jammed mostly every time he was hitting the ball. He was never hitting the barrel. So they moved this barrel from up at the top of the bat to the middle of the bat, to where now instead of it going out and just going in, it goes out, in, and then go. It's the most genius thing I've ever heard in my life. Right now, there's 3 Yankees that are confirmed to be using it. Volpe, Jazz, and Cody Bellinger, all 3 homered, and all 3 swings look great so far. This thing looks like a game changer. And now you're seeing, after that explosion from the New York Yankees, other teams are doing it. The Twins now got it. I heard about other teams that are now buying into it. This is going to become league-wide sensation, all because of the New York Yankees. And I saw a lot of people on social media had a big problem with this, how it's against the rules, how this should be illegal, these bats should be banned. But when I saw that the Minnesota Twins player was using it, no one was speaking. There is a clear double standard when it comes to the New York Yankees, and it's starting to piss me off. Anytime the Yankees are innovators and the Yankees try and do something different, they're doing something wrong. They are doing something bad for the sport. But when someone else does it, if the Los Angeles Dodgers would have come up with this and not the New York Yankees, this would be the biggest innovation in baseball history, and we should be applauding Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts for coming up with such an elaborate idea with such detail. But it's the New York Yankees, and it's Jazz using it, and it's Bellinger using it, and it's Volpe using it. So automatically, nah, this is unfair. Nah, this is bad for baseball. It's really ridiculous. According to the rule book, any experimental bat has to be approved by Major League Baseball ahead of time. They have to get a prototype and they have to look at it and say, we'll allow you to use it. The home plate umpire had a front row view to that bat. If they did not know that this bat was being used, they would have said something. No umpire said anything over any of these 3 games, which means the MLB must have approved this bat, meaning it is perfectly legal. And I love the responses that some of the Yankees players were giving. Jazz was putting out a slight jab to it. To them, this is pretty normal. But to the other teams, they're starting to complain. Think about Trevor McGill of Milwaukee saying it's the Yankees, so they'll let it slide. Then why are other teams using it? And I get it. Trevor McGill might have been frustrated. That was a 20-9 loss. So I get there's frustration there. And I like that he's being at least honest about his feeling. It's more, where are these feelings coming from? That the Yankees all of a sudden are getting a double standard here. Like, where did that feeling come from? I want to know. Because yes, there have been some Yankees that have done some shady shit in the past, and they've gotten punished for it. Alex Rodriguez used steroids. He got punished. Roger Clemens used steroids. He got punished. Garrett Cole was using spider tack. It got banned. No one else who was using spider tack got suspended either. So Garrett Cole didn't have to get suspended. The Yankees have not had favoritism based on bans by the Major League front office. Some people will bring up the fact that there was an iPad scandal. First off, that was the Yankees and the Red Sox. Both of them did it. That's number one. Number two, it wasn't against the rules at that point. They implemented that rule right before the Houston Astros started doing their shit. That's why it was bad. The Yankees still had to pay a fine for that. So where is the favoritism here? Where is the double standard that comes in for the Yankees? It's not a double standard to be innovative. It's not a double standard to manipulate the rules and follow the rules to a T. That's what this MIT physicist did. He looked at the rules and he said, oh, the only rules against the bat is it can't be a certain diameter and it has to be the same length in inches and the same drop value, which it is. Ask any of the players. They say it doesn't feel any different to hold this bat. And then, on top of that, it's an experimental bat they had to send to Major League Baseball, and they approved it. So where is this double standard that's going on to where it's the Yankees, so they'll let it slide, is a quote that comes out of his mouth. I have zero idea, and it pissed me off. But off of that subject, because it's pretty dumb to begin with, are the Yankees now host Arizona on Tuesday in their second series of the season, looking to extend this win streak, trying to get good pitching performances by Carrasco and by Will Warren, and then going back to Carlos Rodon. Hopefully the Yankees can at least win this series, make a statement to Major League Baseball that the Yankees aren't done even with all these injuries. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. Torpedo bat or not, the Yankees are inevitable. I'm out of here. Take care and peace.